I think we are a ball of memory. Our experience and our being are accumulated in this, So it's for me. It's that's why I always want to treasure it, to make cinema to mimic or to simulate this. When you go out of the theater, you somehow feel like you're in a dream or you're in certain state. Especially, I hope for my film, like you're in certain world of my head, and that's a thing that very treasure to me. To be able to remember so much, and also we use cinema to create our dream, and also the memory that reconstructed from reality. What I want to remember has been reconstructed in the film to have a very subjective point of view that it doesn't reflect reality in a way, but it reflects what I want to remember in what way. So in a way, it's like creating another alternative or parallel life that sometimes, of course, is fiction, but sometimes it's really intersect with real life experience. Film is a time machine, as simple as that. I just remember in scenes, I'm really bad at this, and in storyline I don't remember. So I often remember certain scene that I been attacked by the filmmaker, or like that, flash. It's a Thai film. I don't know the title and even story, but it's a scene where the helicopter, flying, and there's above the ocean, and there's a banknote flying from the helicopter, and then it was so beautiful. I mean, for a kid, that these notes, paper, like birds, all over the sky. For a kid, it's grand. When you were 5 or 10 years old, you just feel that this is very like a spectacle. Just go into the cinema and see the curtain, the big curtain, being slowly parted, and that is event in itself. So for me, that it's like going to to a different world or a dream of some kind. Yeah. That's cinema. That's the way cinema operates. How, when you remember something, you always put your preference into it. Like when I meet or someone meet his girlfriend or boyfriend, the first date, when you recall that experience, it's cinematic. You remember his hand. You remember how he picked up his glasses or whatever, it's in slow motion, for example. So it's how our mind works. It reflects to cinema in cinematic way, and also cinema reflect how we remember too. For me, dream is something that we really, had it when we unconscious in a way, and memory was something that we try to dig up. So it's separating. In memory, we dig out the part that we want to remember, but sometimes that we repress it, some bad one that we don't want to remember, but somehow we dream, and we cannot control our dream, and sometimes we dream of something we want, but sometimes something that we buried it came up in our dream. I always want to remember, and you know the things that I don't want to remember. I don't know, maybe it's a play of word, but it's the thing that that make my memory disappear. I don't want to remember that. Yeah. Cinema for me is still foreign, is still a strange animal, and for each film is also different animals that I feel that it's really a magical being that I cannot tame it. You know, even though when I finish the script, when shooting, editing is always changing, always transforming. So that's why cinema is something very unique that I try to understand it until now. And the same way that I try to understand the working of the mind, that how we remember this and how our mind reflect our body, reflect our intention in something. So the same way, you know, that I don't understand the mind, I don't understand the cinema.